Hey traders, Marcello here, founder of the Day Trading Academy. Today we're going to be answering all your questions about the best brokers for traders. So JC, thank you very much for the question. For those of you guys that want to ask me questions about trading or anything else, don't forget to put the hashtag AskMarcello in the comments. We're here, Twitter, wherever you guys want, Instagram. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I love to interact with you guys and answer all your questions, sharing my experience. JC, your question is...
It looks like Tradestation is requiring a 5,000 minimum to open a futures account. What's with the brokers keeping the little guys out of the markets?
I'm going to explain, JC, a little bit of a situation that has occurred over the last few years. When I first started in this industry, Tradestation was kind of the only option. They, in my opinion, still have some of the best charting. And the way that I kind of view this is Tradestation was built by engineers, not by traders. So the platform, the functionality is really, really good, right? Whereas other platforms, for example, like NinjaTrader, are built by traders. That's why there's some things that are kind of funky with the platform, the way that it works. It doesn't really work as good as Tradestation, but NinjaTrader kind of revolutionized a lot of aspects of trading, like chart trader, where you can trade directly on the chart, not look at the dome, which completely changes the psychology of a trader, which in my opinion kind of is a really big game changer. Now a lot of other platforms have that as well. In my opinion, my personal opinion, they kind of copied it from NinjaTrader. But so the first problem with your question, JC, is you think that Tradestation is your only option. In my opinion, Tradestation is a great charting platform. In my personal opinion, they're not the best broker. I've had several instances where, let's say there's like a 50,000 or 100,000. Well, let me put it this way. Let's say, for example, that we have a $50,000 account with Tradestation and then a $100,000 account with another guy. I can't remember the name of the broker right now, but this is something that literally happened to me. So we're trading on Tradestation. We're trading, let's say, on another platform that puts the orders in on Tradestation, but it needs to go 2 or 3 steps to the broker. So Tradestation connects to other brokers. So 2 people, let's say, will put the same order for the same contract, same market, and Tradestation, obviously, they're an in-house broker, so you put in the order on Tradestation, it goes to Tradestation. And then this one over here, which is a larger account, higher number of positions, goes, let's say, from Tradestation to the connecting platform, to the other platform, and then to the other broker. Does that make sense? So this situation over here, let's say, is $50,000. This literally is the truth. This happened to me. I don't know if it's different now, but I still wouldn't trust it. So let's say this account over here, which is directly with Tradestation, is $50,000. And then this account over here that needs the 3 or 4 steps to go to the other guy from Tradestation is $100,000. One of the things that I have seen is that the order that is filled directly from Tradestation will not have as good of a fill as this other guy. Does that make sense? So in my personal opinion, Tradestation is a great charting platform, but not the best broker, because the fills are definitely not as good. And I was very surprised to see that with a lower position count, a lower contract load, you'd have a worse fill than when you put it in when it has 2 or 3 steps. So brokers are really, the reason why I tell you that story, JC, is because brokers are really important. I would hesitate to recommend any of those really, really deep discount, low cost brokers, because essentially what happens is they have such cheap fills or such cheap commissions, because then you don't get the best orders. Does that make sense? And this is something that I think all of you guys should test on your own. These things can change over time, and I also believe that it's very important to put brokers on the block, test their own fills, check your own statements all the time, because you never know when they can pull a fast one on you. And this is everybody, right? I unfortunately, after the financial crisis of 2008, 2009, don't trust anybody. And I think it's always important, a lot of these companies are profit-based. So yes, they are our intermediary to kind of go into the market, just like a bank. But banks are also they're also a profit. So their interest isn't necessarily to provide the best service. Sometimes, depending on the broker, their best interest is to make a profit. So keep that in mind. So with that being said, JC, I'm going to recommend a few of the brokers that you should use for futures, since that's what we specialize in. There's been a change in the dynamic of the futures industry, where, as I mentioned kind of in the beginning, the story that I was telling you before, when I first started, Tradestation was kind of the only game in town, put it that way. And then if I remember correctly, we used Tradestation for charting, but then we put our orders, even back then, that says everything about Tradestation as a broker, right? Through NinjaTrader. But NinjaTrader at that point didn't have charting. So over time, NinjaTrader opened up charting, then they had charting, and then obviously over time they've become much better at charting, and then eventually they bought a broker that kind of went under, that had some financial trouble supposedly, called Mirrors Futures, and then NinjaTrader became their own brokerage as well as platform. So now there's a bit of a I don't want to say monopoly, but there's a bit of a monopoly where kind of the big boys are kind of controlling things, right? You have, for the institutional and really, really high money guys, TD Ameritrade went in and bought, if I'm not mistaken, Thinkorswim, which is mostly options based. I wouldn't recommend Thinkorswim. Then you have, I forgot the name. Give me a second. It'll come to me. It'll come to me in a second. Other big guys, I forgot the name here. I'll find the name. I want to make sure I give you this, because one of the big boys that's kind of moved into the industry is TD Ameritrade. They just bought Scottrade, for example. I'm just going to find this for you real quick. So what's basically happened is there's kind of becoming, there's been a consolidation in the industry on the brokerage side, on the clearing firm side, and then on the platform side as well. Interactive Brokers is the other one. So you have TD Ameritrade, you have Interactive Brokers, you have NinjaTrader, you have Tradestation. Those are kind of the big boys in town. There are a lot of boutique firms that I would recommend. We're in the process of kind of developing our own platform, so we're not tied to NinjaTrader, because unfortunately there's a lot of bureaucracy after they became a broker, and we want to give our traders a lot more options. I would highly recommend Deep Discount Trading. The guys over there are exceptional. I know a trader from Perth has been using them for, I think, 7 years, and they're phenomenal. Howard, I wanted to recommend them first because Howard there at Deep Discount Trading, they're just absolutely amazing. Now their requirements may be a little bit higher because they don't service everybody. Like the 5,000 minimum, for example, at Tradestation, that might be the same for Deep Discount Brokerage, Deep Discount Trading. So if you have that amount of money, I would recommend them. NinjaTrader I would recommend as well. Advantage Futures is another one. GFF Brokers is another one, especially for you guys based in Canada. I'd recommend GFF. So those are some of the ones that I recommend. The situation that you're going to run into, my man, is going to be the platform. So with Deep Discount Trading, there's kind of I should do a video on this. I think there's been a consolidation also when it comes to the platforms as well, where there's kind of maybe a handful, maybe 5-6 main platforms that people use for futures trading. I'll do another separate video on that. But a lot of these guys like NinjaTrader, also GFF, if I'm not mistaken, are a minimum of $1,000 instead of $5,000. So if you don't have the capital, I just want to throw out there as well, JC, that if you don't have, I want to say a minimum of $2,000 or $3,000, it's going to be a little bit harder for you psychologically to learn how to trade, because it's hard to do it with the minimums. I've seen it done, but it is a lot harder because of that psychological load. And obviously, if you don't trade with a good system, or you don't know what you're doing, which unfortunately a lot of people just jump in thinking they're going to make $1 million tomorrow because they bought some course, and it's not the truth. it's going to take you time to learn how to do this. So make sure that you're ready on sim before you go live. If you're going to do it with the minimum of $1,000, keep in mind that, you know, just 2 or 3 losses and you're going to be out, because the minimum to actually place a trade with the mini 500, the E-mini S&P 500 is $500. So if you lose just a few trades, you're going to be not able to trade anymore. So just keep that in mind as well. I think a lot of the brokers now require you to kind of sign a waiver if they kind of don't think that you're financially able to trade with. So great question, my man. I'll make sure to keep up these videos for you guys, since I know a lot of you guys like them. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and we will talk to you soon. Don't forget to subscribe.